Hi guys, I'm Martikor, and this is a tutorial on how to deal with the Headmaster in The Sims 2, because it seems to be a little bit difficult to some people, and really you just need to remember and understand a few very simple mechanics to get it right. Let's start from basics and some info. In The Sims 2 we have public school and private school. What's the difference? The first most visible thing is that private school students wear uniforms. You can also find those uniforms in CAS. They come in 3 different colors, those in CAS, because in private school they only wear the very dark blue one. The red and the green never appears. Private school is free of charge. You don't have to pay for it, unlike real life. The benefit is that kids and teens don't get the same fun need drop when coming back from private school as they would in public school. Private school seems to be less stressful for them. And whenever there's a pop-up scenario about something that happened in school, in public school, Sims always get some money out of it, like for winning a spelling bee, for example. In private school, they always get a skill point from those scenarios. Maybe except the good grades one, but that's money from relatives, not school. So it seems like private school is supposed to be more educational, giving the youngsters extra skills on occasion, and also more time to focus on homework and activities or a part-time job. With university, Sims don't get any scholarship for just being in private school, but they are more likely to get the Scholars Grant or Young Entrepreneurs Award or scholarship for a skill that they get at 8 points of that skill, because they just have more time and energy to do extra stuff because they don't have to worry about fun as much. And because of that, it's also easier to become an overachiever in private school, even though it's not required for that title. You can be in public school, but you just need to have an A+ and get to the top of a part-time career. So now let's talk about how to get into private school. Click on the phone and choose Invite Headmaster. The Headmaster will visit your family at 5 p.m. and require dinner, a tour, and some good conversation. You have 6 hours to please him. If you get 90 points from those, your kids are good to go. But since a C in public school is required, then if you have, let's say, 3 children and one of them has a D, that one kid will remain in public school, while their siblings go to private. So how to please the Headmaster? First, if you have apartment life that brings the social group gestures, use them to greet him. A tough handshake or kiss kiss darling gives you extra starting points for schmoozing, and those interactions are never rejected, so there's no risk. Have a meal prepared before the Headmaster arrives. That would be ideal, I guess. You can use the make interaction to cook any dish regardless of time. The serve dinner interaction appears exactly at 4:30 p.m., which might not give you enough time, but you can also use that and have another sim greet the Headmaster while the sim is cooking. As for food, I always laugh that the Headmaster loves pork chops and hates salad, but I always had it in the back of my mind that it depends on how filling the food is. He's not against any specific food, he just likes the sweet feeling of being completely full. This Reddit post is a deep dive analysis of how food works on the Headmaster, so be sure to check it out. I'll link it below. You can give him salad and still get a lot of points if it's made of fresh ingredients from your garden that you stocked the fridge with. That is, of course, if you have seasons. Food made like that is sparkly and always very filling, so the Headmaster will be fine with just cereal if you make it using fresh tomatoes. Points for food are counted directly based on how much the hunger need was filled by the meal. Pork chops are a good choice to me because they only require 5 points of cooking, so they are not super difficult to make and are very filling indeed. But if your sim can't cook well, spaghetti is good too. Inviting the Headmaster to dinner first might be a good idea to be sure that the food doesn't get spoiled before you get into it. Even if your sims are not hungry, at least sit with the Headmaster during dinner because you also get schmoozing points from talking at the table. Then give him a tour. You get to show 3 rooms, so choose them wisely. Again, it's all about a need. The evaluation of a room is based only on the environment bar. Check if your sim has high environment in a chosen room, and if it's all green or almost, show this room to the headmaster. You don't have to show the study or the kids' room or anything ambitious, nothing with telescopes or bookcases or whatever. If you have a really nice, clean bathroom, that will do. It can also be the hallway, whatever. After the tour, if you're still short on points, try to talk to the headmaster and increase the relationship a little bit. If there's disagreement, click on your sim to change the topic of the conversation. There's also a special interaction called schmooze. You can schmooze about school or work, but I would say it's kind of hazardous because you never know what the outcome will be. And a better way to gain those few points that you're still lacking might be to use certain things that give you bonus points. You can serve coffee. Best would be for the headmaster to be in the room while you do that so that he goes and grabs one right away. You can also do the coffee trick at the very beginning before the dinner and tour to also give your sim more time to cook. That gives 10 extra points. Another thing for 10 bonus points is serving drinks and letting the headmaster have one. If you happen to have a hot tub, get in and wait for the headmaster to join. You can't really ask him to join, but he will be very happy to go in the hot tub. It also gives you 10 points, but it's very glitchy. First of all, it doesn't always give you the 10 points. And second, the headmaster can just get stuck in the hot tub and never get out. When I was creating footage for this video, the headmaster finally got out from the hot tub and the game actually gave me the 10 points when he got struck by lightning. So that's the thing. I don't really recommend doing that. Coffee and drink is definitely better. And that's pretty much it. You can get up to 50 points for the food itself, then about 30 for the tour if it's good, and then just let him have a drink and it's done. Also, a recommendation from me regarding this topic is School Mods by Simler90. One of those mods brings charging for private school. Every school day you pay 100 simoleons for each kid that is in private school. I actually edited this mod to pay more than that. But it's really good and realistic because it's kind of ridiculous that you don't have to pay for private school in vanilla game. All you have to do is suck up to the headmaster. And you know, I am obviously not from the US, but I think that normally you have to sometimes also suck up to the headmaster, but you have to actually pay for the school, right? And it's not cheap. The Sims 2 is the only game that has differentiation between public and private school. In The Sims 1, there's military school that kids are sent to when they have bad grades. In The Sims 3 Generations, we can send the kids to boarding school, and that makes them unselectable. They can come back, of course, and they automatically will when they become young adults. There are a few different schools to choose from, and Sims learn appropriate skills there. They can also develop certain traits while aging up. It's pretty cool, especially when you have a really big family with a lot of kids, and you just need some space so you can send the older ones to boarding school and be over it. So that's all I had for you today. I hope it was helpful, and as always, thank you very much for watching the video, and see you in the next one. Bye!